Kansas City is reeling after another violent weekend. This time it was right outside of the Power and Light District, T-Mobile area, 13th and Grand in a parking lot. 2 people were shot and killed. 2 more are fighting for their lives, including a juvenile. And it doesn't seem like there are a lot of serious answers coming out of Kansas City. The head of the Fraternal Order of Police in KCMO for the police department there is Brad Lemon. He joins us on KCMO Talk Radio 95.7 FM. You can always stream us on the iHeart app or on your Alexa device as well. All right, Brad, good to have you on KCMO Talk Radio. What are you hearing from local leadership that is either encouraging or discouraging to you after Sunday's tragedy?
Yeah, I mean, good morning first. Second, I guess the frustration part, the conversations that we're having are surrounding environmental issues and things like that. When there isn't anything coming out of City Hall when it comes to the detention facility, and that's the problem we're having. We've been talking about this now for years. We keep talking about it. We all know it's a problem. We're spending millions of dollars a year shipping people hours away from Kansas City and shipping them back. We don't have the capacity to hold anybody in custody and cool anybody off. And here we are. We're going to talk about parking lot security when we can't even have a conversation about when are we going to finally have a jail in this damn town. It hasn't been. We haven't had one in 15 years or better, and we continue to pretend that we can do policing without some sort of detention facility, and it's literally not possible.
Now, the city has obviously looked at this and said, well, we're going to be building a jail, but we don't really have any start date on this. I asked the mayor about it last week, and it sounds like no one really knows when this jail build-out is going to happen. So Nathan Willett suggested yesterday a temporary jail setup. Is that something that you know anything about, or there are any serious conversations around?
Yeah, for the last 2 years, the exact same conversation about a temporary jail facility has been going on. We talked about the 8th floor of the headquarters, trying to build something out for $18 million, which was not going to be $18 million, and it was not going to be done before FIFA, and it was not going to be able to work because it was a bad situation in the first place. Having a jail 8 floors above the headquarters, when we had fights going on up there, we had all sorts of problems up there, and it was costing us a fortune in just ambulance costs going back and forth. There needs to be a single set down jail that we can start bringing people into immediately, and not this ridiculous situation that we've had now for a decade or better. And it's no longer misfeasance. It's intentional, right? I think it's easy to look at and say, why don't we have a jail in this city, and why couldn't we have one in 15 years? And the reality comes down to we could have had one, it should have had one, and people at City Hall are failing the city.
When you look back, 10 plus years ago now to shutting down the jail, I mean, how big of a mistake was that in hindsight?
Well, it was massive. If not for just domestic violence victims alone, it was a huge mistake. We just do not have the capacity to hold domestic violence suspects like we should. We don't have the capacity to bring serial thieves out of businesses and hold them for any length of time whatsoever. There's literally nowhere for us to hold people at the rate that we need to for a city this size, and to still be talking about this in August of 2025 when the FIFA starts in just a matter of months at this point, and we still do not have a plan. Now we'll try to buy a $19 million grocery store and pretend like we know how to run a business, but we won't do the jobs that the government's actually responsible to do.
Brad Lemon is the Fraternal Order of Police president in Kansas City, Missouri, joining us on KCMO. So with that, Brad, I mean, we've heard a lot the last couple of days in the wake of what happened outside of Power and Light. We're at 13th and Grand. 2 people were shot and killed in some kind of dispute that happened at about 3:30 in the morning. We've heard a lot about how the owners of these parking lots need to be more responsible, and they needed to have their own security, and they've got to basically close these parking lots at a certain time because this is happening in the parking lots. As someone who knows policing like you do, is that the right way to approach this, and does that make any sense?
Well, there's probably some there's probably some good information there. I mean, when I was in the TAC team, tactical response teams years ago, and we were shutting down certain bars that were causing shootings and problems, we would go from parking lot to parking lot and push them, and it was a nightmare for us. But the reality is we don't have the manpower to be chasing those things anymore. And we will never have that as long as we don't take crime seriously. This is burning people out. We're arresting the same people over and over and over. These murderers that we're getting in custody, it's not like this is the first crime they committed. Most of them should have been in custody somewhere at some point anyway. And now all we're doing now is letting individuals with bad intent back on the street to continue to commit crime, and we just ignore the fact that there's no penalties in the city, in Kansas City.
Is that also at the responsibility of the prosecutor, who I know, Melissa Johnson is new to the job? Is that on her, or is that somewhere else along the line?
Well, I mean, she can just charge and she can just convict, but there's bail reform issues that need to be done in the state of Missouri again, and quit this, ending the cashless bail conversations that we've got. But obviously, we didn't support Melissa for her race. She was not the candidate that we got behind, but everybody on our police department that I've spoke to about her has rang her praises and said she's working hard. And I've had multiple conversations with her. We've not sat down and had long conversations, but we've had several conversations over the last 6 months, and I've been very impressed with the work that she's doing.
All right, Brad. So as you look at this thing now going forward, and Kansas City is continuing to struggle on the issue of homicides in particular, downtown, you mentioned FIFA, the World Cup. It's 11 months away. I mean, these issues are happening in prominent entertainment districts that people from all over the region find themselves at in any given night. What would your message be to not just the political leaders in this town, the business leaders, the community leaders, with Kansas City set to be on the world stage in less than 12 months?
Well, we need help. We have to have the tools to be able to hold individuals that are creating mayhem. We just have to. And here's a reality for Kansas City, and the state of Missouri. During that FIFA period, bars are going to be allowed to stay open from 6 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the morning, 23 hours solid, without an ability to take people that are creating problems in these bars that can stay open until 5 in the morning. We're going to be fully staffed all day, all night now because of bars, and then try to figure out how to handle FIFA all at the same time. You've got to give us a tool to be able to hold the individuals that are causing problems in the city.
And I did see this. I don't know if this is of interest on your end, but there could be a proposal allowing Kansas City to use the existing Jackson County Detention Center when they move out at the end of this year. Is that something that makes sense to you?
I don't know. I hope so. I mean, at some point we've got to do something. I can't imagine they'll be out of there by the end of right on. But maybe they will be, and we can do something. But the retrofit would be probably very expensive. So I don't know. We'll have to see.
All right. Brad Lemon, Fraternal Order of Police President in Kansas City on KCMO. Thank you, Brad. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
All right. There you go.